Welcome back to the channel for another edition of Cinema Review. This is David B. Hepburn, and in this edition we are going to review Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts. I don't know why I said that, but it was fun, so I don't regret it. But so basically a bunch of characters from the MCU who, I don't know, are worthy of their own spin-off or not, I don't know, but they're now bunched together to be the new Avengers. Okay, that's cool. So let's get into it. So in Malaysia, Yelena Belova, who is the sister of the deceased Black Widow, she destroys a laboratory and she's going through a boredom crisis or something. She wants something new in her life. Okay, it's giving me Steve from the beginning of a Minecraft movie vibes. I like that. So then someone named Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who is played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, also known as, who she played from Seinfeld? Elaine Beans. Yeah, that's her. I forgot her name. Anyway, she basically hatches a plan to, gather up all her and other superheroes for some death trap or something, which also consists of John Walker, aka U.S. agent, who was a former Captain America, but due to going rogue, he was relinquished from his position. Ava Starr, aka Ghost, portrayed by Hannah John Kamen. Okay. Oh, and John Walker is portrayed by Wyatt Russell. I forgot about that. And Antonia Dreykov, aka the Taskmaster from Black Widow, played by Olga Kurilenko. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, they were ordered to kill each other, but then they realized that it was all just a trap by Valentina, so they all escape, along with some other guy named Bob. Oh, and by the way, despite being heavily featured in posters, Antonia, aka Taskmaster, she's dead. She died. Ghost killed her by accident or something, but she's dead for the rest of the film. So that was false advertising. Anyway, so the group, along with Bob, they all escape. Hijinks ensue, and they end up escaping from the laboratory or whatever they were held captive at. Valentina finds out. She's pissed off, obviously. Anyway, they are then lost, but then the Red Guardian, who is Yelena's father, he basically finds out about this. He found out about it for a while. Found out about it for a while, and now he's come to rescue the superheroes. Anyway, he's supposed to be the comic relief, right? Basically, he tells embarrassing stories about Yelena's childhood for comedic reasons, which, okay. I think that's cool. I like that. That was actually the funniest part of the film. Anyway, so then let's see. So then they get chased off by Sebastian Stan's character of Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. But then, he captures them, but then they're realizing that they're trying to save the world, and, it's all the typical misunderstanding stuff. So they both team up and fight crime and stuff. That's not actually what happened, but anyway, yeah, so then, meanwhile, Bob is actually captured by Valentina and is trained to be a superhero, like a Homelander kind of thing, but like darker. So anyway, they activate the alter ego known as Void, which is basically himself, but he has the appearance of a shadowy figure with glowing light eyes, or at least later in the film. Anyway, the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts, they eventually get to New York to save him, and they realize that he's a superhero. It becomes a battle and all that stuff. And, then Void, goes rogue. He destroys the city and basically unleashes a black shadow stuff that, sucks people in. Anyway, Yelena goes in the black shadow to try to save Bob. And, inside are traumatic memories of various people. most notably Yelena, and they're very dark. I'm not going to say too much. You should probably watch the film in order to, see that. But anyway, and then, so the other Thunderbolts, they all come in, to try to save Yelena and Bob, obviously, with the form of family support and therapy and other stuff, which I think is pretty nice. And then after that, they're credited as the New Avengers by Valentina. So it was all just a ruse to create New Avengers. So, okay, that's pretty clever. So that's where they get the New Avengers name. The other name, Thunderbolts, earlier was given by Red Guardian. It was basically like a childhood football team that Yelena was playing for, which, okay, that's cool. Anyway, so then that was sort of it. They get featured on a Wheaties box, which is probably the chicken jockey of the film. Or as they say, the chicken jockey of the film. Which, okay, that's fine. It's either that or the New Avengers moniker. One of those things, probably New Avengers. But anyway, one of the post-credit scenes is basically the new Captain America suing them for the New Avengers moniker because he was told to reinstate the old Avengers. So, alright, so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, it's going to get played out in Doomsday, so I'm pretty excited for that. Anyway, yeah, that's sort of it. So, Thunderbolts had a lack of marketing. The New Avengers and Wheaties box, that wasn't enough, obviously. They had a lack of marketing. And as a result, it didn't gross as much as expected. Like the Minecraft movie and other films that came after, it grossed more. So Thunderbolts was probably the most forgettable, but it does have a theme. I'll give it that. And that is trauma-caused, family-themed therapy. The kind of Dr. Phil stuff you see. So at least it has its own brand or its own aura. So that's good. That's good. I like that. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this film. I recommend you watch it. I think it's great for family trauma-informed therapy, so it's good. Anyway, with that being said, this is David B. Hepburn finishing up another edition of Cinema Review, and I'll see you guys in the next review I do, so I'll see you guys on the next one.